In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the difference between point type and area type in Illustrator and when to use each one. So to start with, we create type with the type tool. To get to the type tool, we just hit T on the keyboard. You can see that it's highlighted my tools here. So I'm going to start by creating point type, which is the default that you should use in Illustrator. So just always use point type until you need to create paragraphs. So I'm going to explain what I mean. Here, all I'm going to do is click. So this created a piece of type and it's highlighted. So if I wanted to start typing, I can start typing and it's going to type on forever on a single line. I do have the choice to hit return and make multiple lines of text if I want. Okay, so this is point type. If I want to get my cursor out of the text, I can hit the escape key on the keyboard and that gets me my selection tool or the black arrow. Now you can see that this text looks like it's in a box or a frame, but it's not. This is just the bounding box with which you grab the text. So if I grab it, look at what it does. It distorts the text. So we should avoid doing this. If you want to scale point type, you need to hold Shift while you drag so that it scales proportionally. Okay, so like I said, you default to point type in Illustrator. Okay, so just always use point type unless you want to create a paragraph or multiple paragraphs of text. So I'm going to switch to my type tool again and I'm going to drag a frame across the page and you can see that it filled it with 2 paragraphs of text. Okay, so this is area type. So if I hit escape to get my cursor out of the text and I grab the corner of this frame and I scale it, you can see that it does not scale the text, it reflows it in the frame. Okay, so if I scale this frame smaller, you see that there's a little red plus here. That means that my frame is too small for the amount of text that I have. Okay, so I can tell how much too much text I have by clicking on the red plus and then clicking off. If I drag to the side of the page, you see that the overflow text is in here. So I'm going to have to scale this pretty big. Oh, there's the end of the text. So now I know how much there is in the frame. And you can see when I scale this one larger, the rest of the text disappears from the other frame because it fits in the first one. Okay, so now I could delete this other frame, or what I can do is I can show you how to create multi-column text frames. So we're going to keep this text frame selected and we're going to go type and area type options. Once we're there, we can maybe make it 2 columns, and I have guides on the page that are 12 points apart. So I'm going to create a gutter that's 12 points to match. Now if I click OK, we can see that I have a little bit of overset text here. So all I need to do is grab the bounding box and scale it taller so that all of the text fits into the frame. So that's area type. Reserve area type for paragraphs of text. There's also a way to convert point type to area type and vice versa. So I'm going to create a new bit of point type. It's highlighted. I'm just going to hit escape to get my cursor out of the text. And then you'll notice that there's a little white circle here to the right of the text. And when we look at the area type, when I select it, the little circle is filled with blue. So that indicates that what this is area type, and what's up here is point type. So if I double click on the point type indicator, it's going to switch it to area type. I double click. And now look, when I grab the text frame and scale it, it's a frame. So the text is not scaling, it just reflows in the box. I can double click on the little circle again and it returns to point type. Now when I grab it, it scales like this. So to sum up, default to point type in Illustrator, only always use point type unless you're going to create paragraphs, then use area type.